Roxie working on her place command. Good girl. So she gets a treat when she goes on the Kuranda bed, and when she's coming off. That's just right now. Well, you introduce the command. Down the road, I won't use treats at all of this. But for right now, keeping her positive, keeping her wanting to get on that Kuranda bed, using those treats to be a positive motivation. I don't want to say that I pick her up or make her go on there. I want her to go on leisurely on her own because she wants to. So the place command is a spot in your home that you want her to go and be content. It's far less structured than a sit stay or a down stay, whereas they have a whole specific position. So she can walk around on the Kuranda bed, sit, lay down, whatever she wants to do. She just can't physically step off. If she does, I'm going to say, which is a nice sharp noise, kind of lets her know I don't appreciate that, what you're doing. And I'm going to pick her up and put her right back on there. Sometimes if I say, they'll settle right back in before even stepping off. You'll hear me say, yes, good girl, all those positive marker words, yes. Just to reassure her, yes, I appreciate that you settle back down. It's just like handing her a treat, but we're not going to do that throughout the command. I will walk up and praise her. But I'm not going to walk up and give her treats. I want her focused on holding the command. Don't want her to do anything like that either. Like I said, I want the focus to be on holding the command. Good girl. In a moment, I'm going to go up and praise her. I'm just not going to do that anytime she breaks away. I want it to be that she doesn't think I'm rewarding her breaking away prematurely. Good girl. Good place. Good place. Good place. Place. Good girl. Before she comes home, we should hopefully have this built up to about 10 minutes with no correction. That means she just sits there or has something to do for 10 minutes, and I don't have to say any or corrections. Of course, this is a command that you're going to have to continue working on when she comes home. This is a great command to do or utilize while like doing the dishes or anything like that where you need her to just be sitting in a spot, content, and you don't necessarily want to put her in the kennel. You see what she's doing? So I want to stop her before she even does it. She is looking for treats. That's why down the road we won't utilize treats for this command. It'll all be praise. But right now I'm just introducing the Kuranda bed, having it be all positive. Starting next week there will be no treats, just praise. I'm going to have her hold this for a moment. And make some noises, distracting things. We do have other dogs in the room. It's definitely a very distracting environment. We want that. We want her to go be able to do this in a distracting environment. So down the road when it's less distracting, it's much easier on her. One second, I'm just doing a video. So, you're good. Your distractions are good. Off. If you want the boss man's in there.
Okay. You want me to?
Distractions are great.
Okay.
Off. Okay. You're good. So I'm gonna grab her, put her right back on and her place.
I do smell like 5 other dogs.
You're fine. That's what distractions are meant to do, so we can correct them. So as you see, it's always place. Good girl. So as you see, we like when people walk through because she messed up there. Well, not necessarily messed up. She broke away prematurely, and I was able to correct that so she knows next time that someone walks through, no matter what happens, what distractions, she has to follow through, and then she didn't hear the release word. Like I said, she is just starting to work on this. She has plenty of room for growth with it. You're welcome. Gonna see? Yes. Thank you for being a great distraction. Good girl. So as soon as she settles, I'm going to praise that. Good girl, yes. Good police. Good job. No, don't want her to jump. Good police. Police. Good girl. So see, the first time she walked through, she was like, oh, I can run away. I can get away. I put her back on there, and she realized that wasn't acceptable. And then when she walked back through, she definitely did much better. So this is what I mean by room for growth. That was growth right there. But of course, it's going to continue before she comes home. Down the road, you'll be able to introduce a long-term treat or create a toy to keep her occupied so she's not so bored. But right now, in the beginning stages, I want to make sure she's focused on the command. That comes with maturity, as well as, like I said, growth. Feet hanging over the edge. I don't want her to look in the floor, but the feet over the edge is fine. Cueing that focus with some noises. Good girl. Good place. Good place. Place. Good girl. As you'll notice, when I go up to pet her, it's nice, calm, gentle petting. I'm not riling up her face. And this is setting her up for success because she is an excitable puppy. Place. She is an excitable puppy. I'm not going to feed into the barking. I want her chewing on that. But the barking, I'm not going to acknowledge. I want her to kind of cry it out. If I sat there telling her no to the barking, or I was trying to like argue back with her is what I like to call it, then of course it's going to feed into it because she knows I hear her. The reason I was saying when she's chewing on those handles, that's not acceptable behavior. Not going to feed into it. She's going to think if I was talking to her, or if I sat there arguing with her, telling her to be quiet, anything like that, just like in the kennel, much more. And I, of course, would not give the release during any fits like this. Want her to realize, like she is right now, she's settling in, realize I'm not going to acknowledge her when she behaves like that. Of course, when she comes home, if you acknowledged it or you fed into it, then this would become an excessive behavior and much harder to fix or correct on the road. But that's why we're working on it now, acknowledging her. Pick her right up, put her right back on place. Make sure she wasn't slipping off. Trying not to look at her. Of course, I want to make sure I know if she breaks away, but I'm not going to look at her. Maybe going to break eye contact. Sometimes turning your back to the puppies makes them think that maybe they can get away with breaking away prematurely. And like I said, not going to give the release while she's doing any of those fits. I want to be able to count at least 10 in my head before giving her the release with quiet. I'm also not going to give the release from a distance. I don't want anticipation. Down the road, I want to be able to leave the room. So if I give her the release from a distance now, she's going to think when I leave the room down the road, then maybe she can get away with breaking away prematurely. And that's not what we want. So I'm going to walk up to her and praise her throughout this. So this way when I walk up and give the release, she doesn't know, am I going to get the release word or am I just getting praise? As you see, she's licking the bed. Like I said, down the road, we're not going to use treats during next week probably because I don't want her to think I have to look for treats, lose focus on what it is we're doing. So I'm going to give her the release here just a moment. Good place. Good place. Place. Good place, good girl, good place. I want to reward that she didn't break away with that distraction. Like I said, this is growth. And I'm also going to put her again. Okay, yes, okay. So now I'm going to probably take a treat and lure her so she realizes, okay, yes, good girl. As soon as I feed those feet hit the floor, I want to say yes because she understood that okay is the release word. So sometimes you even have to teach what the release word is, and that's the beginning stages of place. So we're going to end like always on something she's strong with, is her sit. And then of course a nice little praise session, so she looks forward to this at the end of each training. Roxie, sit. Good girl. Down. I'm sorry. I forgot my keys. My knee goes. Good girl. Now I'll do one more sit. Sit. Down. Good girl. Now we'll do the last sit. She's just doing really great with all of her basic obedience. Okay. Sure, I got something good. We've been working for a while, and of course she's really young, so having only so much attention. Sit. Oh, she's looking for freebie. Good girl. Not repeating that command. And then we're gonna sit here and she's gonna get some praise.